Hello, hello, hello! Welcome and well met. Welcome to the stream. I'm Leona Theodosia, and today we are playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are on the last episode of the adventures side of Chronicles, because Chronicles is made up of 2 games, for those who need to be told that. And this is the final one. There is 5 per game, in quotes, even though it's one big game, so next trial is like... Well, next episode is episode 6 for Chronicles, but it's episode 1 for Resolve, which is the second game. So we have the Great Ace Attorney Adventures and the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. So yeah, that makes sense of some things, hopefully. But today, we are starting the trial proper. We had a couple of days. Well, let's see. I think we've had, I forgot to check how many streams I've had of this particular episode. But we've had some episodes of just things happening, investigating getting done. So we have at least a little bit of evidence coming into this trial. So now we are in this trial. And well, we're not quite to the trial. The trial's gonna start this stream, but we got a little bit of preamble because a lot has been going wrong. And we are having one of our characters depart back to her homeland. So we're gonna have to address that first, but then we'll get into the trial. It'll be pretty quick. Anyway, speaking of quick, I should probably quickly switch over. Boom. With little Mises, you gotta go. Today is a no Mies day. Today is a more serious day, and yeah, I have it on the save screen, just because if I hit anything, then it doesn't screw things up as much. Yeah, because I just have, this is what, just booted up to this dialogue, so you only miss just the dialogue coming on screen. I assure you, you've missed nothing else from, if you've tripping up on my words. Been keeping up with the series here on my channel. You're missing nothing. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely Ryunosuke. So, okay, Ryunosuke voice time. When I awoke the following morning, Susato-san was already gone. Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets. And so began an even longer day than the last. And that I would remember for the rest of my days. It's all very dramatic. Oop, and we're already jumped into the lobby. It's 9:32 a.m. Jeez. 17th April, the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. So I think we're with Gina, and not Gina. Gina! I'm going to mess up her name so many times, and I apologize in advance. I have so much trouble remembering how to properly say her name, because I read it as Gina instead of supposed to be Gina. So I read it wrong, and now I have to unlearn and then relearn. It's a process. So apologies in advance again. Anyway. Yep. Gina is here. I think Iris might be here with us as well. I think she's helping out this time. Susato-san is not here, as we just... She went back to Japan, because her father is sick. Okay. Good morning, Gina. And she's being... she's being herself. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it. I don't think she's so sure. So, where's your friend, then? Sorry? You know, her in the fancy dress. Susato, or however you say it. I don't know. Ah, Miss Susato had to leave early this morning. She's already gone by the time I woke up. You alright with that, are ya? What about me if you like? Go and see her off. It's fine. It's not as though Miss Susato and I won't meet again. One day. Even so. But you, Gina, you only get one chance. The trial today is all we have. Good morning, you two! I think that's Iris. Yep, it is. Why did you bring the cat? Iris! Why did you bring Wagai? That's the name of the cat, by the way. It's Wagai. Did you bring the kitty? Who brings a cat to a courtroom? Unless it's like part of their character. I realize this is Ace Attorney and people are zany, but Iris, why are you bringing a cat to a courtroom? How are you feeling, Jeannie? Did you manage to sleep? I'm always gonna do that, am I? Iris, what are you doing here? What do you mean? When a friend is in need, we show our support. Isn't that right, Waggy? To know, for anyone who's just listening, I am meowing after the sound effect plays. The cat is not meowing twice in a row. Can you tell I've grown up with cats that I hear a cat meow and I kind of just want to meow back? Or at least say something. Old habits. Old habits. There goes the kitty. This is why you don't bring cats. Oh gosh, I don't even remember if the cat shows up later or not. How relevant is the cat? I don't remember. Let's find out. Ah, Waggy! Great way to show your support, kitty. Ryunosuke throwing shade at the cat. Let him have a nose around. What harm can it do? Oh, that reminds me. I brought a paper on the way here. I have no idea if I'm keeping consistent with the voices. I'm not a voice actress, but I'm trying my best. Now, would you like the good news or the bad news? What do you say, Bruno? Jeannie? Oh, well, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Nah, always take the good news first. You might not live to hear the bad. Yes, that question always gives away people's personalities. Let's not go there. Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. A record amount of rain has fallen this morning, and the carriages all over the capital are struggling to move. Huh? The bad news was a weather... Bad news was a weather report? So I hope that Susie made it to her train to Dover, and that the train isn't delayed on its way to the port. Gosh, yes. Alright then, so what's the good news? Well, the rain is forecast to subside this afternoon. So even if the train is delayed, it should be able to make it up with the time later. Well, that is good news, isn't it? I could have given monkeys, really. If only all good news cancels out the bad. If only, Ryunosuke, if only. And look! This trial has made the headlines too. Pawnbroker perishes in pick-purse plunder. See? That's a mouthful. How do you like that? Well, let them say what they want. See if I care. I didn't say that properly, but I will. I can't. Because you're covering your face. Don't worry. Bruno will show everyone that this headline is nonsense. I will? And then, in tomorrow's papers, the headline will be... Well, headlines will be... Discharged driver is dauntless do-gooder. Isn't that right, Bruno? Oh, yes. Let's hope so. Of course they will! I have absolute faith in you. I love Iris. How was that? I was trying to sound like Susie. Did it work? Did it? It's like she was still here. Are you being serious or are you kidding around? I can't tell. Oh, okay, we get the paper. Can I look at the papers more? If you give me something, I want to look at it more. Okay. Oh, right, I have a lot of things. Oh, yeah, right. Susato. Darn it, Iris. Susato gave us information on the McGilded case, which is the 3rd episode? So if you're looking through my playthrough, look for it saying the 3rd episode starts. It's the second trial in this game. Because the second episode actually doesn't have a trial in it, but it does sort of also have a trial in it. You still do solve a mystery. There's just not a proper court trial. Anyway, what does this say? Aw, Windy Bank. Poor Windy Bank. There's his pawnbrokery. Oh, I need to move. I'm in the way. I'm in the way. I'm in the way. Pawnbroker perishes in purse plunder. How awful! Virginia, I mean. But tomorrow's headline will be Discharged Driver is Dauntless Do-Gooder, right? Yes, something like that, if possible. I'd like to go even bigger. Bigger? How? Proud Pickpocket protects planet post-trial. What? Iris! What do you mean planet? Protects planet? Ooh, I can't wait for tomorrow now. It's gonna be so great. Iris, your 10-year-old is showing. Well, that your 10 years old is showing. How is she gonna save the planet? I mean, it's impressive at this time period just to save a city as big as London, let alone the whole planet. That escalated real quick. Okay, what's on the back? Oh, gosh. There is... What is this? Huh. It looks kind of like there's writing that's almost legible. There's a sensational story lower down the front page as well. Look. Mystery... Words. Ministry Mole? Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas for Ministry of Justice. A 10-year-old. Iris certainly has her finger on the pulse of world news. It's about secret communications between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently they're being intercepted by hostile nations. Communications are being intercepted. But how would somebody be doing that? That's the question, isn't it? I've come up with 3 different possible methods so far. Are you looking for a new career, Bruno? No, of course not. I wonder. Perhaps this is what Lord Strongheart was talking about yesterday. Yes, it could be. It could explain why he has Gregsley running from pillar to post at the moment. Yeah, it's a pretty safe bet. That's what got everyone else in a fuss. And given that this is an Ace Attorney game, it's gonna become relevant. That's not spoilers, you can figure that. This is episode 5. If you haven't figured out every bit of information you get is relevant right now, then yeah. And if you just dropped in for this episode, well, hello, I am catching you up to speed. You're welcome. Alright. And this is why, when you get new evidence, you always examine it. I love how they have 3D models and you can actually examine it. That was my favorite addition to the Ace Attorney formula. Thank you, Ace Attorney Investigations with Miles Edgeworth. I think that's where it first showed. Then I think he got a DLC episode. Or was it the DLC episode for one of the... I forgot which game it's after. Is it the second game of the Phoenix Wright ones? I honestly don't remember. I wasn't into the series then, so I don't know. It's not like it was happening real time. For me, at least. I kind of got... When did I get into the series? Jeez. I think it was after Apollo Justice? I mean, I knew of it beforehand, but, like, actually a fan? Gosh. I think my first actually any kind of Ace Attorney game, though, was the crossover with Layton. Was it? It was either that or Dual Destinies. I know for sure Dual Destinies was my first mainline game. Anyway, I'm getting off to... I'm not completely off subject, but I should probably get back to playing the game. Okay. Good luck then, Bruno. I'll do what I can. Obviously, I don't know the law like Susie does, but still. Oh my gosh. Iris, put that down. That's not... Don't take that out in court. be by your side the whole time, giving you moral support and encouragement. I'm not sure that big thing is as comforting as you think it is, to be honest. But thank you, Iris. Very kind of you. Oh yeah, Iris. Yes, Ginny? Well, I was wondering, is all, about Shlomes. They fix them up all right. Oh yeah, yeah, this is off of Sherlock Holmes, but they, let's just say legal reasons, he's Herlock Shlomes in this game, but that is actually a legitimate name of another character, which I have said this, I think this is gonna be my third time saying this in the series alone, but Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the author of the Sherlock Holmes series, was very popular, so when Marlise Leblanc wrote his Arsène Lupin, the kind of grandfather of all gentlemen phantom thieves, he used Sherlock Holmes, but Doyle got annoyed by that, understandably, but also to a funny degree, in equal measure. So Leblanc just channeling Arsène Lupin, his own character, just switched the name to Herlock Shlomes, so it is an actual character. Honestly, it is more Herlock Shlomes than Sherlock Holmes, so more of LeBlanc's version, because he did make him more silly. And Herlock is definitely more silly. So ironically, the name fits better than what it's spoofing off of, because Sherlock, Doyle's version, is much more serious and kind of a jerk, to be honest. I've only read one story though, so you know, maybe it depends on the story. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know yet. I haven't read enough. But there you go. There's some amusing literature history for you there. That isn't at all confusing with the similar names. Anyway, moving on. I really gotta stop explaining that, but I never know who's, like, new to the streams and wouldn't know that. I'm covering my bases. Please bear with me. But yeah, he's been shot. And, Iris is very concerned about it because Herlock is functionally her father. Even though she calls him by name. We'll see if that changes or not. But anyway, there we go. You're caught up to speed now. Yes, the operation was a great success, but Hurley still hasn't come round yet. Eh? I've asked a friend of mine at Scotland Yard to send a telegram as soon as he wakes up. That would be Gregson, actually. People are doing things in the background. You won't be able to hear that, but if I get distracted, that's why. Stuff is happening, and I'm like, what? Actually, I'm not going like what? I am going, huh? So apologies in advance. Well, there's a lot of apologizing this stream. I'm sure Gregson will let us know the moment there's news. Why don't you say that out loud? Oh, right. Susato-san. No, Mr. Shlomes. It's all down to me today, to prove that Gina is innocent of this crime. Miss Gina Lestrade, counsel for the defense. The trial is about to begin. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing it right. Please make your way into the courtroom. It's time then. Yes, let's go, Gina. Iris. Lead the way, Bruno. Everyone's so young. This young group of folks just coming in. Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. No kidding. I have to believe in her from start to finish. It's a weapon that will secure our victory here. Mm-hmm. Asogi! Kasuma Asogi! I learned anything from my great friend, that is. Bye-bye, Asogi! I'm sorry, I like Asogi. Every time he gets shown up in a flashback or remembered, I get happy. It's 10 a.m. now, and we're in the Old Bailey courthouse. It's still 17th of April. Hello, Van Zeeks. I see familiar faces in the jury. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. Lestrade. I'm going with Lestrade because it's what we've been using. I'm sorry if that's incorrect. Names. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and the defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Prosecution is ready. Defense is ready. Why are you always so wide-eyed? Ryunosuke. Stiff back. Eyes forward. Come on. Lord Van Zeeks. My lord. Remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the public prosecution service? Oh yeah, he was on hiatus. Yeah. 5 years, like he just said. I have to read that now. It was some 5 years ago, my lord. Yes. Then 2 months ago, you resurfaced somewhat unexpectedly. And here you are again today. Are there some circumstances of which the court should be aware that have led to this erratic behavior? That's the second time he's asked this. No comment. In what one might describe as your former life 5 years past, you dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government. Really? Yet today, you choose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess to find it more than a little befuddling, counsel. Are you gonna say something? You might. There are two types of person I cannot abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large. Oh, that explains the McGilded case. I forgot about this. This is why it's good to play games again. This is my second playthrough, by the way, like ever. I watched a little bit of my sister playing this, but by and large, this is my second time seeing everything. He means Mr. McGilded, who defended against the Reaper 2 months ago. Yes, I just about managed to work that out. Thank you. Miss McGilded. I'd known what a monster he was. I wouldn't have never defended him. Yeah, that's been a sore spot for me, Ryunosuke. First day to a new country and he gets thrown in to defend a murderer. Oh, it's not a great day. And secondly, the more loathsome. Those wily scoundrels who masquerade as allies, only to effect total betrayal in the final hour. In other words, the confidence tricksters from those tiny islands in the Far East, the Nipponese. That is... I have words. Van Zeeks, that's very rude, to say the least. What? Did he really just say that? Yes, he did. I kind of want to smack him for it. He means you now, Runo. I actually managed to work that out, too. Thank you, Iris. Oh, betrayal. What are you talking about? Oh, don't worry. We'll get there. Lurid look of hatred in Lord Van Zeeks' eyes. Is that directed solely at me? Is he talking about all Japanese people? There's a word for that. I'm not getting into that right now. I promise you it gets better, and not a worse kind of way, but like actually, you want to smack Van Zeeks less. So please don't get too fuzz. I promise it gets better. I know it's a not great topic. An alarmingly scathing explanation, Lord Van Zeeks. Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared by all London's malefactors. Your lordship is too kind. Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Oh my gosh, it's the guy from the boat case! I forgot he was in this one! And it's Mrs. Types-A-Lot is back here. And we got Mr. Garideb. He was here last trial. Wasn't Miss Maid also here last trial? Okay. I mean, I realized the out-of-game reasons for reusing models. I didn't remember what the jury was. I'm actually surprised. Anyway. Are you ready to hear the evidence placed before you and determine the guilt or innocence of the defendant? From a lieutenant of the British Army here, don't you know? Chaps like me were born ready. Why are you blushing? Clean crockery. Why am I tripping up on the word right now? Clean crockery, clean cutlery, and a clean conscience. His lordship's motto is very appropriate here, I think. Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely, absolutely everything. And I'm ready for it. Sir? I think that's not the subject at hand right now. I don't understand it. I can't have left it in there. It's not possible. But I have. You do me the worry. The guy's dressed as a doctor and you're worried about leaving something? I'm worried now. Woman indispensable in society. Stop. Female-centric future awaits. Stop. We have a suffragette in the house. That's appropriate for the time period. We're, the turn of the century from 1800s to 1900s. Just give people context who aren't in the know. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Why are the first 2 people like ready and then everyone else is just, are you sure you're ready to be here? Ryunosuke is thinking much the same. Ryunosuke seems concerned about the jury as well. Is something wrong, Bruno? Oh, not exactly. It's just... I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact. Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? But it is quite strange. The jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know. Well, I've been led to believe. Something tells me I'm being duped. I mean, there is logistic... well, getting into the realistic probabilities and stuff, there is a reason why it wouldn't be the entire inhabitants of all of London, but I'm not getting into that right now. But there are reasons why it's a smaller number than that's said. Very well. Now, Lord Van Zeeks. The court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case. As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. Oh dear. The victim, Mr. Pop Windybang, proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents this photographic print of the crime scene. As the court will observe, there's a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. Evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near instant death. Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's Give me a moment. Coroner. Sorry. That's hitting. Ours are hard for me sometimes. Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. And what's that supposed to tell us? It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Someone like the accused, you might say. Oop, the jury's reacting again. Prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord. Indeed, the court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please. And it's getting added to the court record. I want to go look at those. That's the other one. I'm ignoring you right now, Venzik, sorry. Always look at the evidence right away. Let's see. Autopsy report, coroner, Dr. Stevens. Details of victim. Name, Pop Windybank, male. Occupation, pawnbroker on Baker Street. Time of death, 16th April. So that's, yeah, yesterday. 1 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. So that's in the morning. Reporting party, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Because Ryunosuke was at the scene. Post-mortem findings. Single bullet wound in upper half of victim's back. No other visible signs of trauma. Autopsy finding. Instant death from reports. Okay, I'm not even sure how to pronounce that word, but look at the screen, please. From a poster anterior bullet wound? To the heart. The bullet entry from the the bullet entered the body from the back on a gently raised diagonal trajectory. Specific details will be always important to remember. And yeah, that's just... Okay. I think the... Let's see, the... I can't remember the word for it right now, but the words that accompany the picture are more important right now. The description of the evidence is more important right now. There we go. A photograph of the victim found murdered in the storeroom, which shows the single bullet wound in the man's back. Okay, so if we have to say the only bit of evidence is the location, which I doubt is going to get it involved, but single bullet wound's probably going to be important later. That's evidence for that. Noted! Okay. Seems like we're getting a map next. And now I ask... That's a great voice. Now, I now ask the court to turn its attention to the plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. There's looks like a woodblock power rain. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept articles pawned to him. A windowless room with a single point of entry. A door to the main shop that was found locked. In this sealed chamber, there were only 2 persons present. The victim, Mr. Windybank, and the accused. It may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet. Well, that's that then, isn't it? Nothing more to say. Isn't that grubby little girl a pickpocket anyway? She's one of those filthy drabs that lives in the slums in the East End. Oh well, it was only a matter of time before she got blood on her hands then. What are the jurors ready for? We can't jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive. Kenzie, you're such a... I have words. My learned Nipponese friend. It is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. Oh, I know for categorical fact you are jumping to conclusions. I've played this before. Prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. And wait, is that conveniently? Yes, it is. Conveniently, this appalling act of murder cannot go unobserved. There were witnesses. Good gracious! Through their testimony, this girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pickpurse, a cold-hearted killer. Here's to establishing the truth. Gina looks like she's gonna... looks so... Why are you looking so smug? The court will take the floor plan and the firearm into evidence. Hand them to the bailiff, please, Lord Van Zeeks. At once, my lord. Floor plan. Firearm. We're definitely looking at those. This isn't good. Feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Bruno. I think that's because it has. Oh, he's immediately taking his cape off. No more vampire cosplay. Red pompous nobleman. Once again. Let us begin. Bring forth the witnesses to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Winniebank on 16th April of this year. Oh. Oh gosh, dang it. I think it froze. Hold on. Yep. There we go. Didn't miss anything. Okay, no. Might have missed some animation. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. Name Scullin. Occupation is baddie. Professional baddie. Wait. Professional baddie? Is that how you're pronouncing professional? Professional? Okay. So why are you... Did it freeze again? Hold on, I need to mess with the wires. Okay, well the music came back. No touch! my twin's nearby. Forgive me for being... Oh no! Problems! Might be my problem. Might be my problem. Oh jeez, okay. I messed with the wire a bit, because of some days the wire's set up, like, even if the floor moves a bit, it'll get jostled and then just stop working. Which is annoying. But okay, yeah, okay. Things are moving again. Technical issues. Are you gonna behave now? Okay. Name's Ringo Scullin. Occupation, same as him. Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard Inspector. That's right. We're what they call... Three Scullin brothers. I don't think... I don't think Gregson's a part of this. Oh gosh, we got the comedic duo of Dumb and Dumber. Joy upon joys. What are you looking at me like that for? Don't let me in with you lot. He's a police inspector, you two dinguses. Or blimey, that's cold. Don't you know what we're going for? It's our older bruv. Lost contact with him, we have. So we scoured every shady corner all of the capital. Then last night, we came across you. Very spit o' the bloke. Oop. And then last night, we came across you, the very spit o' the bloke. Ain't that right, Ringo? He is, Nash, he is. Very spit of him. We decided so we decided there and then what we's gonna do. So hard to read. We was gonna call ya. Big Brother Scully. Come on, leave it out, you two. Scully? That's before he's run out of chips. Well then, Inspector Judge, not you too! Well then, Inspector Scully Gregson. Your pardon, my lord. The name's Tobias. What I would like to know, Inspector, is that... I need to do a deeper... The judge has a deeper voice. Old man, but deep. What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you are doing in the witness stand. The Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft. These are they, these three? Oh, my lord, begging your pardon, but please don't let me in with this lot. 2 nights ago, these two brothers illegally entered an establishment with the intent to burgle. In the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime. Oh yeah, we saw their silhouettes, and then Herlock got shot. Because I remember the size difference. The height difference, but also I've played this before. By Jove! What do you mean to say? An extraordinary coincidence. Indeed, my lord. Attempting to burglarize the pawnbrokery. They witness its proprietor's murder. He needs a box to stand on. Some of the characters are so short. Order, order! The various trespasses of these brothers are the subject of today's proceedings. They will naturally face trial in the very near future. Your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in the stand to keep these gents on the straight and narrow. I don't remember what voice I gave Gregson. Of course, Inspector. Skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I will permit them to take the stand. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question and what exactly you saw. Happy to. Cause a Skulkin's never Skulkin. They're gonna look over. Yep, there they go. Get out of it. Gregson is none to amuse. Okay, what is the testimony? We was walking down Baker Street in those small hours, and the gaff store was ajar, see? It was like some kind of sign, begging for us to go in, it was. But once we inside, cor blimey lummy, we heard a gunshot from the back room. We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. We never done nothing, governor. Never took nothing, we just left after that, nice and quiet. Just waving his hand. Why is that animation so silly right now? A terrible coincidence, it would seem. The precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot. Witnesses' testimonies. Oh, the witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. Are you sure about that? The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside. And within, only the victim and the accused were found. I must say, this appears to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now. Of course. Counsel, if you please. Ryunosuke's grinding his teeth. Counsel? Yes. What's the matter, Bruno? Sorry, was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair in the stand. I know that it's all nonsense, because I saw it with my own eyes. Just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies that it is. Too bad for you, one of the lawyers was there on the scene at the time. Okay. I'm gonna immediately look at, I haven't seen... Okay, this just is looking around. Alright, so it's the description that's more important. A plan of Windy Bank's pawnbrokery, the scene of the crime. It shows the relevant positions of the main shop and rear storeroom. Okay, so this is good for if we need to explain where things are where, and I should probably shuffle. Here's probably good. Okay, a gun belonging to the victim, Mr. Windy Bank, that Gina was holding when she was found unconscious. There are signs of a single discharge. Okay, good to know. Anything to look at? Oh, right here. This is Mr. Windy Banks' gun. The cylinder is completely empty. Mr. Windy Bank always used to keep this gun to hand on his shop counter. Yes, but only ever with a single bullet loaded. I understand. That's right, to keep all the pawned articles that were in his care safe. His one bullet was fired that night, and the poor man lost his life. Is he protecting his shop, I wonder? Trying to keep the articles safe? I think that's about it. Yeah, okay. So no new information from this. Just evidence. May or may not need. Quite yet. Alright. Let's see. We was walking down Baker Street, small hours. The door was open after Gina went in, but... Okay, that's not too important. Whoop. Didn't mean to skip that. Or blaming when they heard a gunshot from the back room. I went to see what was what. The door was locked from inside. Never done nothing, Governor. Never took nothing, and then we just left after that. Nice and quiet. I think it's the last 3 lines here that are going to be important, so let's press. Hold it! A gunshot, you say? Just the one? Are you sure about that? Oh, right. Do we have that in the court record, though? No, we don't. Okay. Well, maybe not. It might be in here. Yeah, this has a... If you couldn't tell, there's a bullet in that. So I might have to use that. Does it say... Okay, I'm not entirely sure if that's how it goes about it, but definitely was more than one gunshot. Yep, just the one, Gov. I swear to that. It was Nash, it was. Ain't that right, bro? Firearm used to belong to the victim himself. Yes, Mr. Windybank always used to leave his gun lying around on the counter. Right, I remember. When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds. That makes sense. Mr. Windybank always used to say he only ever kept a single bullet loaded. That's true. I remember him saying that as well. So we can say with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used as the murder weapon. Yes, my lord, we can. And I should remind the court, the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused. Wonderful. Yeah, this might be wrong. If it's wrong, I'm gonna save it for... Nope. Crying out loud. I am going to be silly with my buttons. Give the save, because if it ends up being wrong, it's usually easier... Well, not easier. Quicker to reload. So I'm gonna save it. This is the last last episode of what was the first game. So it's gonna be a little difficult. Heard a gunshot. Okay, yeah, you only mentioned the one. Okay, let's try presenting this as my... There's a good chance of not working, because I'm not sure what this...
Objection!
No, the music's still going. Yeah, okay. I know how to use that, but I need to get my characters to figure it out. I'm like, that's wrong. There should have been... There's definitely a gunshot in the main room because there's a bullet in the calendar, which we know for a fact was not there so it happened at night. So in the day, Ryunosuke and crew visited, and there was definitely not a bullet lodged in the calendar. Okay, so I'm not sure what to do with that. Let's press the other one.
Hold it!
You mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom? My learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation. Perhaps a drawing would help. Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there's only one other door, that of the storeroom. Of course there was only a little lamp burning. Not much to see by. The door was hidden behind a curtain and all. That's right. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the... curtain. Tell me, how exactly did you try to open that door? And a normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think. Oh, well, your turn to rabbit, Ringo. Well, Nash, yeah. I suppose you'd have to say we ain't normal, eh? Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways on hearing a gunshot or scream. The timid flee, gripped by fear. The courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen are of the latter inclination. My learned Nipponese friend, it would seem, is of the former. That's rude and making assumptions. Alright, somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night. Thank you, consuls. So I believe we're all understand that the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses.
Hold it!
So sure. You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story? Well, it was bedlam soon as, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out of me Lucy lockets. So, with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left nice and quietly, you say? That's right, Gov. Nothing we ate more than violence. Peace-loving nibblers we are, not burglars. We are, Nash, we are. You pulled me dukes out of me Lucy lockets. So you'd clearly like us to believe. Come again. As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? It's alive. They fired a gun, you say? Ah! Blimey, Governor. You ain't telling us it was you in that doorway. It was. Why in the bleeding Nora? Didn't you mention that before? You were armed with a gun. And as you fled the scene, you fired that gun. At London's greatest detective, Herlock Sholmes. You shot the great Mr. Sholmes? I did hear that, actually. There's a rumor he'd been rushed to the hospital. Great Shlomes? What's beyond the pale? On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious encounter rapidly gave them suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. When searched, the firearm was indeed found in their possession. Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. Oop, there's the gun. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers. Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzle, as you say, Consul. Court will hold this weapon as evidence. Another thing to look at. I'm gonna interrupt Benzeek's a bunch. I don't care right now, Benzeek's. I want to go look at the evidence. Okay, scooch it over again. How many shots did this fire? So there's ammunition. Ammunition. So there's ammunition still loaded in 5 of this revolver's 6 cylinders. Yes, which tells us that only a single shot has been fired from it. Exactly. The bullet that hit Hurley, in fact, isn't it? Yes, it happened almost as soon as we'd walked in through Windybanks' door. Make those brothers pay. Oh, you made a bad enemy today. Iris is not one to be trifled with. She may be 10. The women in this game are scary. Okay. No. I learned Nipponese friend. Nipponese. No, my learned Nipponese friend. Yes? Here's to your successfully presenting the evidence. Oh yes, here are the telltale signs of spent powder on this gun, and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime under scrutiny in this trial.
Objection!
Well, I don't need evidence, because I was there.
Objection!
However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, you shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on. Evidence that these two fired the gun before they left Windybanks that night. Court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. Oop. Okay, let's save it here. Because again, quicker to load usually. What did it? I might have to examine this. No, I can't examine this anymore. I would assume it would be that. Yeah. Let's see. This is the ticket for issued from the fabricator by the victim. Oh, right. This is for a box. This is the one for the coat. Yeah. Okay. Gina's presentation bears. I doubt that's useful right now. Manuscript. It's not useful. It's paper. Okay. Yeah, I think it's going to be this.
Take that!
Evidence is in this portfolio. What on earth have you there, Consul? During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Not trusting the police to do their job they're trained to do. How arrogantly Nipponese of you. I'm gonna smack you, Vanzeeks. Well, anyway. We analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio. And you claim to have evidence the court is demanding therein. Yes, my lord. No more no more dallying then, counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene? This one.
Take that!
It's already on it. What's that? Explain. It's a photographic print taken at Windybanks' pawnbrokery on the day of the incident. From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that... Discount Vampire always seems upset to be in court pointing out the obvious instead of spending his real time doing worthwhile things like visiting with his tailor. We're on the tailor thing again, aren't we? A bullet hole. If my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged there. Yes, as your lordship noticed. Well, it appears Mr. Windybanks' calendar. Date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight. This indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th. That's right. And while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes that this credible evidence that... The defense believes this is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun in the pawnbrokers that night. Bullseye. Carmarius is not like Van Zeek. Order! How does the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zeeks? Unbothered. He's gonna have some wine. If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, prosecution has no objection. What? Oh. I was waiting for that. Oh, hello, Farouk. Welcome, welcome. You'll forgive me for flinging my hollow chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Yes. The night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street. Take it easy there, Governor. You're gonna land us in the soup. You're already in the soup. You got arrested. That's why Tobias is here. You had a deal. You weren't gonna get into them details. Tell him, Skulky. Set the bloke straight. I have nothing to add. It's like, leave me out of this. So he knew, did he? And Zeeks knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. It would seem now I owe my learned Nipponese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact. What fact do you refer, Lord Van Zeeks? As has been established, at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brothers' gun. You okay? However, if that shot found its... Sorry, God. However, that shot found its target in Mr. Schloes. And clearly, these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim. Ah. In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Windybank at all. So that's it. Nope. These two. That's it. They don't have nothing to do with it. We didn't do it, Nash. We didn't. That's what I reckon. Their crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let us not forget attempted murder. Write a catalog, eh, fellas? Ah. We're in for it now, bruv. Now then. Let's take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. We've seen the man... What is that? Okay. We've seen the man patronize the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where is he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery. Eccentric? That's who? Iris. Not me. Don't give me that look. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop. Oh! That's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders. What is that, Counsel? It has the appearance of a photographic contraption. Your Lordship has surmised. It is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a theft were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. Prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. That's a lot, unsurprisingly. 9 p.m. 9:30 p.m. As the court will observe, the copious identical prints are produced in quite disillusionary fashion. Rather prodigital, I feel. In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. If I may refer the court to the plan of the premises, their respective positions are here and here. You say these cameras produced a print every half hour. I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help if the anticipated theft conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals. I can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera. Hey, that's a bit of flare-tuck, eh, bruv? Lady Luck loves us skulking. Witnesses, what time did your trespassing begin? Must have been just after 1, right, bruv? Must have been, Nash, must have been, yeah. Just gone 1. In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let's examine the evidence. Oh. Good lord. It's the defendant. Miss Gina Lestrade. That's not a good picture. As the court can clearly see. The accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his storeroom. Why? One can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel. Photograph of Gina. Ah, a great photo. I don't believe it. Ginny. In short, the accused is the only person who could possibly have killed Mr. Windybang. Ew. Not good for Ryunosuke. I say, my lord. Wonder if I might put a word in at this point. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. The volley bullet to the knee in the Battle of Maiwand. Maiwand? 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that, but enforced to retire from services, sadly. Of course, a medal can never outshine the exploits of chaps like us on the battlefield. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? Carry on the battle after retirement, you see. Battle of daily life, if you like. And here I am now, leading the small squadron. 6 men, all good and true. Are you sure about that? And we'll all go down together, you mark my words. One for all and all for one. Fancy. Such a pompous jerk. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand? Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? In a matter of speaking, yes. That is the Garideb Squadron's position, sir. What? No, it's too soon to make a status report for the courtman on the devil. His lordship insists on promptitude at all times, and that goes for making decisions too. I think you'll find the truth is as clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it. I wouldn't have left it in there. I just wouldn't. In all honesty, I can't actually remember. What is he talking about? Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop. I am very sorry for brothers. They are unlucky. Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning in this matter. Announce your considered verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Oh geez, that was a growl. And once again we see this. Time for a summation examination once again. It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning already. Photograph. Must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned. Ginny didn't shoot him. No, of course not. My lord, defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination. Very well, the court grants permission. So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising. Eat your words, Van Zeeks! I'm sorry. We shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready? Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. Moving right along. One cross-examination, and now this. Okay. All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocketeen. As housemaid, I should like to see all filthy eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated. I think you'll find that if you look at the photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out. I left it in there. I should think it'll be repercussions by now. Mind made up. Stop. Local radio transmission of verdict to follow. Stop. In motherland, we say never judge by clothes, judge by head. I am convinced brothers are innocent. I don't think I'm doing. I know. I realize he has an accent, but I'm not doing that. The circumstances of the crime and the evidence do indeed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively. A storeroom locked from the inside, in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone. And in the accused's hand, a fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses. Not to mention this print. Taken from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling the volley trigger. Thanks a lot, Mr. Shlomes. Oh dear. These cameras were supposed to help, not hinder. You need an event videotape. I'm afraid. I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you. But Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windybank. Which means there's more to the situation that we've yet to see. Yeah, no kidding. Agreed. You have the floor, Consul. Proceed with the summation examination. No, they're in the... I see you, Tobias, and the Skulkin brothers. I'm less pleased with seeing you, but... Hello, look this way. Look, Tobias, Gregson, hello. Okay, I'm getting my curiosity out of the way. What are you worrying about? What exactly have you been muttering about all this time, sir? You keep talking about having left something somewhere. Something like that. Aha, so sorry. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon. A surgeon? That only passed me by. Of course, people conducting surgery in this country aren't considered to be doctors. Oh no. Even though me and my kind are at the forefront of medical science. The real brains in the field. So, what is that you think you've left behind? Ah, well, that's a little embarrassing, to be honest. You see, I was operating on someone yesterday. Standard thing. Went in through the abdomen. But when I finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel anywhere. What? Did he? Surely not. Exactly, surely not. You say to yourself, don't you? Worrying, isn't it? That's what's been troubling me this whole time. I really have left my scalpel inside the fellow's belly. No, of course I couldn't. No, of course I couldn't. So, there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing, really. It's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter. Jeez. That's exactly my concern. And seeing as this case appears to be all but sewn up, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've been sewed up elsewhere. Now, sure I made sure everything was back as it should be. Well, as sure as you can be without being sure. I'm sure you need to be more sure. Local radio. That's not very helpful. Press that. Oh wait, do we have the other photographs? How many? Okay, we just have the one. Okay. I'm like, can we even do what this guy suggests?
Hold it!
Maybe we can get more photos if we press him? What do you mean? Look at the photograph in stereo. Sorry, what? Don't you know? If you look at the photographic print normally. It looks as though the pickpocket girl is about to shoot the victim, obviously.
Objection!
There's no indication that the defendant ever fired the gun. All I'm saying is, if you look at the same print in stereo, it could reveal all sorts of new information. By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes? Oh, how'd you know? Let's call it a lucky guess. It never gets old, seeing the two prints merge into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary. It's captivating. It's the height of modernity. Of course. Oh yes, I think you'll find that stereoscope here. Find that stereoscope is here to stay. About that. Give us new perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen. If only you could give me a new perspective on this case, I might agree with you. Nothing new there.
Hold it!
Do you have any more to add? You're Mr. Natsume's landlord, Mr. Garideb, aren't you? We really must stop meeting like this. Ah, a lawyer chap. Well, there's an upturn for the books. Yes, rather a turbulent time we had back then. Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Shrooms and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did rather a lot for you, didn't we? I mean, obviously. I wouldn't be suggesting that, therefore you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything. Can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the Garideb house was the talk of the town after that business. Lodgers moved out, and I couldn't get a bally soul to take up the tenancies. Oh. Haven't the heart to break the news to Johnny yet. Bad enough the old girl's chapped up. Yes, can't be denied. You did do a lot. Not for us, that's for dash certain. I suppose not. Of course. There can be no suggesting of that being the reason I'm leaning towards guilty here, obviously. Obviously. But honestly, I really wish you'd paid more attention to the trial. And less to juror number 2.
Hold
What
it!
do you have to say? Polishing the bench, I see. Again. A maid's work is never done. Not a blemish must remain. What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores? On my way to the market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pick purses, and craftsmen. The scum of the earth. A little harsh, perhaps. Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those crack slums would be made spick and span or eradicated. At least we have people like the great detective working to achieve these important goals. You're referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes? That's right. I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Rand's magazine in between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London's streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital. Mr. Sholmes, a maid. It's really quite unforgivable. Better scum having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective. Minor detail. It was the two brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant. A minor detail indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned. Well, it just might be an idea to get our facts straight anyway. Yes, alright. I shall amend my statement. Okay, yay. Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should swing for oh gosh, that is some harsh wording there, lady. So I think I can use her statement against those are judged by clothes, judged by head. I'm convinced brothers are innocent. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna save again because it's easier to reload than let it play through though. bad all too often. Okay, so hit this against... Yeah.
Objection!
There we go. Those two statements clearly contradict each other. Good lord! Counsel, explain yourself. Am I? My statement? Contradictory? Contradict... C-O-N... Juror number 6. Juror number 6. You've got the wrong end of the stick. I do not have stick. I have mouse. It's actually quite a cute mouse. I have mouse too. I have 2 mice. Okay, bye bye mice. As juror number 2 stated earlier, when the Skulkin brothers fled the scene on the night in question, they fired the shot from their revolver. Yes, they shot poor Mr. Schlums in the abdomen, I understand. Surely you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear. Abdomen, abdomen, ABD. Sir? Sorry, my English is still learning. You are telling the court you didn't hear. The mouse is reading too. Forgive me, I did not hear. Here is word, abdomen, part of person's body containing stomach and other vital organs. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English. I am Russian, not native speaker. Who thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again? So, you are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying. They say before we never done nothing. But truth is, they shoot detective. Da, this is double negative. Yes, that's exactly right. Oh gosh, don't squeeze the mouse! Lying is wrong. Especially when lie is said by person who looks like criminal. Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced. This means, when they say we never took nothing, maybe it was also big fat lie. Is this true? Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so... Enough! I trust no one now. It's not the mouse's fault though, sir. I must see with my own eyes. I must investigate crime scene myself. I'm afraid that won't, as it is, run out easily. Sorry? But the prints from Hurley's red-handed recorder. If you compare the print that pictures Ginny, and the next print from half an hour later, you'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. Hooey, Mr. Prosecutor! Going on the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination. Of all times. Print showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop. Is this one? Lay off, Vanzeeks! Iris is 10! Following this, the victim and the accused moved into the storeroom. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers entered the shop and summarily heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later, after the brothers' flight. So this was taken after Hurley was shot then? As far as I can tell. Nothing has been taken. Does seem to be the case. I don't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print. So, brothers who look like criminals told only one lie. They shot man, but they stole nothing. It would seem so, yes. Good. No, not good. You were right. I did not understand situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it is very important to continue with trial. Well, that's one. We need 3 more at least. Yay! Well done, Bruno. The balance is shifting. Well, it's a start, I suppose. There must be more in what these jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. If I can do that, it might just turn the situation to our favor still. Well, I have 2 photo prints now. Maybe I can get that one guy's help to comparing them. Oop. I should have read that. Hold on. Thank you, Consul. Continue with the sub-nation examination. And kindly hand that new photographic print to the bailiff to be filed as evidence. Post-shooting photograph has been entered in the court record. Boom. What? Oh, hello there. Do you want to play with this? Hold on. Let me rearrange myself here. Another print in the court record. I wonder if we can make use of that. In Lake of Lies are many dead fish. We must find truth. Therefore, I say not guilty verdict. That's what his dialogue changed to. Okay, going back. Oop, nope. Too far. If I just press him again? Or do I have to present him the photographs? Nope, not that.
Hold it!
Wrong button. I think this is... Yeah, this is nothing new.
Objection!
Okay, let me skip through this and see if there's anything. By any chance... Oh wait, no, he's already said this, never mind. Not new. Okay. Do we have to present the photos? Okay, I think I presented one of the photos. Okay. Why am I suddenly reminded of the smell of vanilla cake? That's not what I wanted to do. I guess I want some cake right now? Question mark? Confuses self. Okay. In case this doesn't work, court record, it's this button. Can you help us with this? Wait, no. I have to... Oh. Oh, I can't present? Oh, darn. Okay. Well, I don't think I've talked to lady here yet.
Hold it!
Talk to her. Maybe she'll change her dialogue? Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean? Are you from the Far East? Stop. Yes. From the Empire of Japan. Ooh, get the point out. All communication with Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal Mail streamers take more than a month to complete the journey. Or steamers. I think that was steamers. As in steamer ships. Ah, but now we have the electric telegram. So we can send messages using electrical signals. Thousands of miles of cable have been laid along the ocean beds connecting the entire world. This is an actual fact even to this day. That's not a lie. That is an actual thing that happens. I would look into it. It's kind of crazy. Thousands of miles of cable on the ocean bed. Makes my head hurt just thinking about it. You are well informed, young lady. The cables will soon become a thing of the past. Stop. And just when I was starting to catch up. Oh my goodness, she's very, very excited. Radio transmission is the future. Stop. Messages carried over airwaves to 4 corners of globes. Stop. That doesn't make... Globes are round. Globes are spheres by, like, definition. They don't have 4 corners. Okay, whatever. Excitement growing. Stop. Atmosphere electric. Stop. Right. Try not to wear out your fingers. Air of wireless telegraphy. Stop. Driving technological revolution, stop. And she's calmed down. And people will say inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology. What other piffle? I can't understand it. I really can't. Oh. He's angry now.
Excuse me.
Juror number 3. Sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming, but... What? Do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess. Oh, you bet I do. Say that again. Go on. I dare you. Goodness. Are you talking to me? I think he just might be, yes. You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you, huh? Absolutely. I mean, really. A machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions. Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. What a great way to appease the man. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all. You just don't know. Pardon? I think you'd find the viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate. What sort of possibilities? Well, take a crime scene, for example. If you had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, it could reveal hidden clues you've never even noticed before. That's what I was hoping for. Woo! I didn't remember it happening this way, so I'm like, oh right, this is how it went. What? Have you got any, Bruno? Any prints we could look at with a stereoscope? Absolutely! How about this print here? It should do the trick, I think. This one? Oh, I have to present.
Take that!
Alright, then juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any two with any 2 suitable photographic prints? Of course I can! Very well then. I'd like you to demonstrate. I'll be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all. Okay, that was the pose, so now we take
that!
This one with Gina. Alright, these 2 prints were both taken with the same camera in Windy Banks' on the night in question. Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer. Do you know how stereoscopic... Do you know how words. Do you know how stereographic images work? Do you understand the principle? Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday. The left and the right eye images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in positions of some objects. Then, when your brain merges the 2 images together inside your head, it notices the shift as if it were depth. Optical illusions, let's go! Yes, exactly! It's that small shift between certain objects in the 2 pictures that's really important. So what happens if you use 2 photographs that are exactly the same then? No, obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing the scene 3-dimensionally anyway. Oh! Of course, now I see. Ah, I think the young girl has discovered the secret. I have! You're still cross-eyed, Iris. And you uncrossed your eyes before you tell me. Have another look at these 2 pictures from Hurley's camera, Bruno. Go on. I don't know if I can. Can you see that there's a really obvious difference between them? Well, the lamp's broken in one, for starters, but, Oh, I can spot the difference without doing this stereoscopic thing, but that's more because it's more of my keen eyes. Yeah, that's definitely a slight difference. Of course there is. There are 2 people in the first and no people in the second. Well, yes, you can see it straight away, but now, try looking at the picture in 3 dimensions. Alright, I'll give it a go. Oh yeah, if you want to try this, it's basically, I guess you want to look cross-eyed at one picture, and then kind of look in between them, and you want to go at your bridge of your nose. Not like the tip of your nose or up towards your eyebrows, but it has to be like at the thing, but I can't do it very well. I would need one of the, little, what is it, stereoscopes. I don't do it very well on my own. So, to start with, you have to cross your eyes, and then try to make the 2 pictures overlap exactly. I'm not doing that. That's gonna hurt my eyes. It certainly did when I tried beforehand. See if by crossing my eyes I can make the 2 pens from each picture overlap in the middle. Wait. Well, did you manage to see it properly, Bruno? I figured it out without doing that, but yes. Ah! What's going on with these 2 pictures? Some of the things on the counter they sort of jump out at you. Van Zeeks has a stereoscope. Why does he have that? He was ready. Yes, that's it, you see. That's the other amazing power of the stereoscopes. Other amazing power? Gary did. Is someone going to explain this black magic, eh? Why the deuce do some of the things on the counter seem to jump out at you like that, I think you'll find that if you consider the basic principle of the stereoscope, you'll answer your own question. Basic principles? The stereoscope. As I said before, if you try to look at 2 identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's a slight shift in the position of certain objects that lets you see the pictures 3-dimensionally. In other words, even though at first glance it seems the objects on the counter haven't moved at all between the 2 pictures, this shows that actually there must have been a slight shift in their positions. Yes, there must have been. Now hold the fire there, sir. Got a reasonable grasp of this whole cross-eye business now, I'd say. Why in the devil does a shift between the 2 points exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on. You're the cross-eyed master. What? Me? I haven't the first idea. You know, Bruno, it's quite simple. It is. Just think it through, step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 a.m. Then, 30 minutes later, the second photograph was taken. But the position of some items on the counter appear to have shifted slightly in the interim. So that means that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter. Stalkers! Someone tampered. New information. Stop. Not mentioned in testimony so far. Stop. Yes. We've had to go around in circles a little here, it seems. But I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in the summation examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom? Are you suggesting you might know? Of course. I can tell you right now who is responsible for almost imperceivable shift in the items on the counter. Would it be Windy Bay? Because he would probably put it back, or is he meaning the... Okay. I'm not too sure. I would think it'd be... They literally have the same freaking bio. You're 26 and you're 27. Oh, so the shorter one's the older one. Interesting choice. Character design there. Well, we don't know which of the brothers. Do we just pick it, or is it Windy Bank? Well, he was there in the picture, so maybe?
Take that!
Right, certainly it was the work. Oh no, I think this is incorrect. No. Alright, slow. So then it is one of the two brothers. 100%. That's what I was figuring, but I'm also like, It could also be just like Windy Bank moving the thing. Let's try this.
Take that!
Oh, that's a different reaction. It was the witness is currently in the stand, the Skulkin brothers. That makes more sense anyway. Wait, this does not agree with what brothers said in testimony before. They said they did not have time to pull dukes from Lucy lockets. My Facebook says dukes is meaning hands, and Lucy lockets is meaning pockets. But is this another lie? Is this what you are saying? Yes, I'm afraid so. Hold on there a minute. Can't be sure of that. I quite agree. The accused is a common pick purse after all. It's perfectly possible she went through the things on the desk to see what she might steal. I think that's unlikely. And why, exactly? As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. Is she? This looks like it's at the ceiling. Anyway, it would seem, as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Windybank to open the storeroom door. In other words, Miss Lestrade's interests lay within the storeroom, not the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. Skulkin brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony. The accused is a pickpocket. Oh, but the accused is a pick purse. Common gutter trash. Why look any further for the wrongdoer here? Because the Skulkin brothers are thieves, madame. No better, in fact, worse than a pick purse. I believe these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves? Well said. I, for one, would like to hear more from that shady pair. Naruhodo has brain cells even without them. Oh, blocked a bit. Even without the bestie, she trained him well. Naruhodo's always been like that. Give the man some credit. That's why Susato and Naruhodo working together is such a terrifying duo. They make up for each other's shortcomings. It's great. And you all now see. Can you all see now? I think you'll find that stereoscopes aren't playthings. You've seen their extraordinary potential firsthand. You know, honestly, they would be kind of useful even present day if you had... If you need to compare and contrast a couple of photos. Does sound like it'd be interesting, though. We have video, so usually you just watch the video. I suppose if there's something wrong with the video. I wonder how practical it'd be nowadays with video. Something to ponder. Oh. That makes 3. Just need one more. Wholeheartedly agree. Stop. Must purchase after trial. Stop. Will return home via Regent Street. Stop. Oh, she's changing her vote. While Overture for Pursuit is playing. Well, it would seem this trial has yet to run its course. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. I hereby call the summation examination to conclusion, with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean to guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus. And I order this trial to continue. Hey, well done. Oh, by the way. What? You should hold on to this, Ryuno. You never know when it might come in useful. What's a new trial would be unusual, surely. But alright. It will definitely be useful. The stereoscope has been added to the court record, yay. Lord Van Zeeks. You will instruct the witnesses. The court demands additional testimony from them. I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord. What a bet on that. I've earned myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night at least. And I won't stop probing them until I've proven that Gina is innocent. Is it to be continued? Yeah. Do you want to end it here, or do you want to go a little longer? Yeah. Oh, I can go a little tiny bit. Go a bit longer. Just get into this next bit. I think this is, yeah, trial part 2. I know this is gonna be longer, so I definitely don't want to rush the end. That would suck. So we'll go a little bit longer. We're gonna end in the middle. I'm sorry. That's gonna be cliffhanger. Order, please. Let us resume proceedings. Witnesses, you will now retake to the stand. They're just constantly sweating, aren't they? Hi, Gregson. I presume you heard the defense's... I presume you heard the defense counsel's summation examination. Oh, yeah, Governor. I did, Gov. I did. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Lord blimey! This is going to be hard work. Earlier in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Windy Banks. Well, it was Bellam soon, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't have time to pull me dukes on me Lucy locks. However, that was a lie. You brothers... Lord blimey! On the night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter. Never done nothing of the sort. How'd you figure that out? Dumb and dumber indeed. You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question, and this time, you will tell the truth. Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. Yeah, Van Zeeks is scary. A thought worthy pondering, perhaps. Say no more, Gov, we hear ya. We'll blab, we'll squeak, we'll preach. They don't have much of a spine now, do they? Guess that's good for us. Illegal entry, the whole truth. Alright, we did knock a few things over. We weren't rifling for nothing. It was when we heard the gunshots, see? We just both jump and all that stuff went flying. Lummy didn't have to give me a fright. He was thinking the shooter came out the door and gets us next. We stuck everything back where he found it and scampered straight into him in the back. We could have shot the pawnbroker. We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? Never had a chance, did we? So you admit to the defendant's accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Windybank's countertop on the night in question. Not ransack, Governor, no. That's right, Nash. That's right. It's more like we tidied up, yeah. I don't think Fan6 cares about the semantics. Sorry. Their own admission. His brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good their mess. Well, you say it. They hardly sound like rogues at all. We don't, Nash. We don't. Can't make us sound a bit more cutthroat? It can't just be coincidence that these men showed up at Windy Banks that night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye. I'm sure of it. Ta-da! Okay, which is the most likely to have? Rifling, gunshot, stuff flying. They're scared about the door, the shooter coming out the door. And they ran into Naruhodo and couldn't have shot. Okay, I think I'll examine.
Hold it!
Press this first. So, you didn't try to open the storeroom door then? You know, I could probably... My throat's getting a little rough. I'm gonna get some water. Tea. Not that you can see. If I lean over you, yeah, no, can't see it. Let me scoot over. Teacup. Ma. Ah. Jeez. Yeah, I should have taken drinks earlier. My throat is kind of rough. I'm just now noticing. To absorb into playing the game. It would work better if I had an actual cup of tea instead of just water. But, yeah. I'm gonna need to take a few drinks here. Ah, okay. That should do it. Be able to do the voices a little easier. Alrighty, let me scooch back. Okay. On your life. It were deadly quiet after that, it did. But the wind right up me. But anyway, the door was locked, weren't it? No way that was open. Yes, of course. It was locked from the inside, or so we've been led to believe. It was, Gov, it was, from the inside. Right, so we had no way of knowing what was going on in there, did we? Unless there was some other way to get a view of the inside of the storeroom. Like through the keyhole, or a spy hole, perhaps? Don't ring no bells. No light, no lights. We had to cut and run before we noticed anything like that. We're still cutting our teeth in the game, see? But one day, we'll really cut the mustard. Please, cut it out. As we know, behind that door is the victim's lifeless body, with the accused not 2 feet away. That's unfortunately. Gina was there, unconscious, the gun in her hand. To confirm, would it be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom? That's right, Gov, that's right. Wouldn't have, even if we'd wanted to. Okay.
Hold it!
Moving on to the next. Yes, thereupon you fired a shot from your own gun at Mr. Herlock Sloan's. Oh, yeah, we was a bit hasty there. We was, Nash, we was. Truth be told, I was already shaking like a leaf when you lot turned up. You're shaking like a leaf. Don't put a loaded gun in your hand. You tell him, Iris. Good advice, miss. Good advice. Truth be told, my mind went totally blank. Before your mind goes totally blank, make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand. Mental note made, miss. After that, we legged it down the street, but Apparently, we looked dodgy to the coppers or something. They clapped us in the darbies on us like we wink. And after you'd been handcuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession, correct? Well, yeah. Listen, that proves it, doesn't it, eh? We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance.
Hold it!
Really? And why should we believe that? What? Well, 'cause it's true, innit? This was totally empty when we went in. At that time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to open the door by the accused who had a gun to his head. In other words, on the night in question, these two witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbrokery, Mr. Windybank. Correct. Got it, mister. Down to a T. So the Spoken brothers never actually encountered Mr. Windybank. Is that really true, I wonder? That's it. That's the full extent of their testimony. What is it, Bruno? You look very fierce. I could pour you some herbal tea if you're tired. Oh, thank you, but I'm fine. Being such a logical thinker, you'll probably laugh. But I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something. Something important. There's nothing more than a feeling, though. I've no proof to support it. Well, feelings can be very logical at times. Sorry. People's expressions, the movement of their eyes, the words they choose. You can take all that in, and your brain will quietly and now analyze it to come up with a feeling like you described. You've concluded that there's something suspicious about this testimony without knowing why. That's all. I think you should trust your instincts. Iris, thank you. Sometimes I think if she's 10 years old, I must be 5. Okay, so one of the two only the two.
Hold it!
Beginning. If that's the case, then why didn't you justify it to that effect in the first place? Well, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we? Ain't we, Nash? We ain't. If we admitted to something like that, people would think we's up to no good. Isn't that the point of you two? Well said, Ringo, me old China. We only laid ourselves in even more trouble. And in fact now, as a result of lying in your previous testimony, that's exactly what you've done. Landed yourselves in even more trouble. That's rotten luck. Says the rotten apple eater. Witnesses, explain your actions to the court. Did you ransack the victim's counter? I never ransacked nothing. Right, Nash, right. More like we tidied the place up. I really don't think Fancy cares. Sorry. Okay.
Hold it!
This is the only testimony that I've yet to press, I think. So what you're saying is, the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much, you knocked all those things off the counter. Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah? This bag of nerves needs to learn to keep his shirt on. Look, it was loud, alright? Blimey, me dead granny would have woken up at that bang. Big brother here screamed like a booming baby and fell over on the counter. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. I got tangled in some marionette, what knocked over a picture frame, what knocked some scales on the floor. You've really mastered working quietly, then. What racket and Granny would have scared back into her grave if the clatter like that. So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise. And then some. I mean, it was quite
All right.
Hello. You wanna say something? Why are you so fiercely... Okay.
Excuse me.
What does Gregson have to say? Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add? Like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels. Eh? No, something to add about their testimony. Oh, well, that's okay. You seem to react just now at what Mr. Skulkin said. They make you think of something. It's probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't have bothered to mention it, only... Well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details. How about you just tell us what's on your mind? As you know, we brought these fellas into the yard for questioning last night. The statement they just gave told a slightly different story to what they're saying now. Did it? You claimed you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot. Might have, Gov, might have. Does ring a bell now that you mention it. Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. I can't help but feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, eh, fellas? I discover the witness's testimony has been any more sloppy has hitherto proven to be. She'll be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Easy, easy. It's straight this time. That's it, yep. It's all coming back to me now. Then speak. Supplement your testimony with whatever details have miraculously returned to your questionable minds, sirs. Voicing annoyed Van Zeeks is fun. Yeah, right there, Gov. Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun!" Really?
Hold it!
Okay. So, in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously. We did, Gov, we did. Although, I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before the yell and all. If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun! Reenactment. Kind of thing. Career in acting, tragically missed. They would make better actors. Agreed, Ryunosuke. And where were the voices coming from? Could you tell? Of course we could. From the other side of that door behind the counter it was. In the phone room, where the victim was found dead. And the voice you heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Windybank. On me granny's life, of course it was. And how they're posing. On is granny's life, of course it was. Don't you have the same granny? So that would mean that you both knew Mr. Windybank and the sound of his voice. Eh? So that would mean what? What, Nash, what? Any ideas? Yes, Counsel, indeed it would. Now, we didn't know the geezer. How am I supposed to deny it when that bloke and all the fancy clobbers gave us the evil eye? If you value your lives, you ensure your testimony is accurate and true. On me granny's life, it is. On his granny's life, it must be. It's a good job his granny's dead. To summarize, then, merely after hearing the voice of the victim, you then hear the gunshot, causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor. Make it sound like we're clumsy. Don't forget, we tied it up after good look. Nah. don't forget, we tied it up after, like, good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it, the bloke who owned the place was holding a gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. Oop, didn't want to do that. Wait, Windybank had the gun? You were saying that Mr. Windybank had a gun in his hands. Oh yeah, but it was a sight, eh? Them two waving their guns at each other must have gotten pretty heated. I mean, just before he shouted out, where'd the geezer say, if you don't want to get shot? Didn't really sound like he meant it, mine. More of an empty threat, you could say. Mr. Windybank... Mr. Windybank was known to keep a revolver on his shop counter at all times. We'll say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in somebody's head if required. Someone, being himself, of course. Good grief! Extraordinary devotion, indeed, if alarmingly misguided. Well, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night. Only the person he was gonna shot beat him to it. Cooked his goose proper. Said he wished he squeezed the trigger instead of wasting time shouting, "Give me that gun." And it was directly after those words you heard the gunshot. I'm not sure. I believe I showed the picture because that would presume he got shot in the front. It was more or less at the same time, Gov. Give me that gun. Bam. Kind of thing. I'm sorry, the little shorter one just looking over the banister. Yes, a career in acting very tragically missed. Then we hear the sound of someone hitting the deck. Before everything went dead quiet. After that, we done slapdash job tidying the place up. So, okay, just, I'm not entirely sure what I should be presenting there. I'm gonna give it a save, so I'll quickly go back to this part. But I think it's probably the picture? Where is that? Here it is. Try this first, otherwise it might be the photo because Gina has the gun. But it's like only place holding a gun. It might actually be photos more likely. I don't know. I'm just gonna try this.
Objection!
Oh, no, we cut out. So you're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windybank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? That's it, Gov. You got the picture. He has, Nash. He has. No question. And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the crime, obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windybank was not holding a firearm of any description. Eh, you what? Gordon Bennett, that ain't right.
Objection!
Oh, I guess they did mention that Gina had one. They both had one. But Windybank definitely didn't. There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. Would remind the court that Mr. Windybank's gun was found at the crime scene. Not only was it identified as the murder weapon, it was found in the accused's hand. Yeah, the mold tooler used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me that gun. Kind of thing.
Hold it!
Say exactly where you are. Right there. Eh? The crime had taken place as you so colorfully described in your testimony. It would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out. Goodness! Are you sure, Counsel? You intrigue me, my learned friend. Let's see some evidence to support your claim. Here is the proof that demonstrates this inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments. Where's the autopsy report? Here we go. Single bullet wound from the back. Okay. No other signs of trauma. Be this, wouldn't it? According to their testimony, the witnesses claim to have heard a shout of, "Give me that gun," followed by the gunshot. Indeed, the two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe. Yes, that's right. Now if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, in the autopsy report, it clearly states that the victim died instantaneously after being shot from behind. So, as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. And there they go yelling. You know, I think this might be Great Pursuit. Maybe not. I'm not sure. I need to compare the two. I know it plays in this trial. I'm like, wait, is it playing now? No, I think this is still perhaps Overture. No, it's still Overture. Okay. but it's the God's honest truth. It is Nash. It is. Winnie was shot that night. The shopkeeper had a gun in his hand. We saw it with our own bleeding eyes. Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Windybank holding a gun. Something like that might have slipped out. Eat dirt, Van Zeeks. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses. On the night in question, they actually saw with their own eyes the victim wielding a gun. Which can only mean, despite their testimony to the contrary, the Skulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person. Nash, Oh, there they go. Order, order, order! Witnesses, explain yourselves at once. Well, the thing is, we weren't supposed to, It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. Made it quite clear that false witness would be the death of you. Danzig's seriously ticked off right now. I do understand that you replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies. I'm ever so sorry, Governor. Truth is, see, we, Cut it out, Nash. Cut it out. We blab now, you know what he'll do to us. He? Who are they talking about? Let me make your position here perfectly clear. We'll talk. There's no other option available to you. Bruv, come on. Game's up. But you'll have our guts regardless. In case it hasn't quite sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out. On the night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place. Well, do we have to? On pain of death, I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth. Fanseeks is gonna personally. Okay, I think. Well, not no think. I'm gonna call it good there. That's good enough. I know it's a bit of a cliffhanger, but that's gonna be good enough for this stream, and also this week. Finishing this week off with that. We're partway through now. If I remember from looking at, there's 2 trial parts, an intermission, and then 2 more trial parts, and then you get the epilogue. So, need 2-3 streams, maybe more, we can get through. Maybe if I stream a bit longer, but yeah, it kind of depends on also how much I'm able to piece what together with what instead of pressing everything. I could save some time that way, but I don't always catch where I gotta be like, wait a second, I need more info here. But okay. I hope that was enjoyable. I'm getting excited. Also have to make sure, I really need to make sure I know how Overture to Pursuit sounds and Great Pursuit sounds. Should probably go listen to it in a moment. Anyway. Okay, yeah, like I said, that's it for today. And that's a wrap for this week. Hopefully you're having a good time. Once again with the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I am certainly having a good time. This is one of my favorite trials. Just piecing all of this madness together. We're getting there, though. And would you believe me that we're actually still ways off from getting towards the truth? It seems like we might be getting closer, but we are not. There's still a lot more twists and turns in store, and I am excited. So I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully you are too. You can join in next stream. Get more of the story. More of the story unfolds. So yeah, might want to subscribe for that. Don't have to though, but hey, it's a recommendation. Maybe a consideration. Could be a no though. I'm not gonna get fussed. I don't want to force anyone to do anything. But if you also like my videos, or if you have anything more to say, don't feel free to like and comment as you feel like. Again, don't have to if you don't want to. I am not forcing people. I'd really rather not. Maybe if I silly and Jessica was like, do this or that, but nah, that actually sounds kind of bad still to me too. But yeah, if you want to, like, comment, subscribe, and all that. And for now, I'm going to have to leave you all here. And thank you all so much for coming. Whether you're watching this live or in the VOD. I very much appreciate it. And now I must bid you all farewell with a fun bye-bye! And I hope to see you some other time.